In the offseason, it was theorized the Pittsburgh Steelers could be after New Orleans Saints wide receiver Chris Olave. At the time, that was shot down. Sources told Penn Live in June that the Steelers have called the Saints to check on Olave's availability. The Steelers were interested in the 24-year-old, but sources described that call as a due diligence call. The Saints had already picked up Olave's fifth-year option. What would the cost be? League sources said in June there was a consensus that it would take at least a day 2 pick, likely a second-round pick, for the Saints to part ways with Olave. However, Saints insider Nick Underhill says veteran Saints players are expected to be on the market as the trade deadline nears, meaning that Olave could be on the move. There are teams interested in some of the Saints' veteran players, and they'll be watching to see who becomes available in the coming weeks, league sources tell me. There's a feeling around the league that New Orleans will be open to hearing offers in the coming weeks, Underhill said. Due to his age and production, the Saints could view Olave as an untouchable. It might be likelier to prize someone like Brandon Cooks or even Rashid Shaheed than Olave. However, teams will likely come calling, and if the Steelers want to make a splash, Olave could be that guy. The Pittsburgh Steelers are making a strategic move to enhance their roster by signing running back Raheem Blackshear to their practice squad. This decision comes amid ongoing challenges in the team's kick return unit. Blackshear, who entered the league as an undrafted free agent with the Buffalo Bills, has spent the last 3 seasons primarily with the Carolina Panthers. Over 41 games, including 2 starts, he has showcased his versatility on the field. Throughout his career, Blackshear has averaged 3.9 yards per carry, demonstrating not only his running capabilities, but also his potential as a receiving threat out of the backfield. Kick return challenges prompt move. The Steelers' motivation for adding Blackshear appears to be his proficiency in returning kicks. During his tenure in the NFL, the 26-year-old has averaged an impressive 26.3 yards per kick return and 8.7 yards per punt return. The team's decision follows recent turbulence in their kick return strategy, particularly after rookie running back Caleb Johnson was demoted following a critical mistake in Week 2 against the Seattle Seahawks. In the wake of Johnson's struggles, Pittsburgh has turned to both Kenneth Gainwell and Trey Sermon, who has been elevated from the practice squad in recent weeks, to help stabilize the return game. Punt return situation compounded by injury. The Steelers are facing further complications at the punt return position as Calvin Austin is sidelined with a shoulder injury. Austin, who is the team's primary punt returner in Week 4, is expected to miss some time, prompting the Steelers to seek solutions to fill this crucial role. As the Steelers navigate these challenges, the addition of Blackshear may prove to be a pivotal step in solidifying their special teams unit and enhancing their overall game plan. Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback Joey Porter Jr. is on the mend after a hamstring injury and will return against the Cleveland Browns. Porter suffered the injury against the New York Jets, and Mike Tomlin was optimistic he would not miss much time, but that never came to fruition. "I'm feeling great," Porter said. "I'm glad to be back. I want to get back before the bye week just to get my little groove in, but it was for the greater good. I got some more time. We're ready now." After adding "and I'm back" surely later on in the press conference, Porter says the rotation will be the same with Jalen Ramsey now likely to miss time with a hamstring injury of his own. Porter has become a stalwart in the Steelers' secondary over the last 2 seasons. His return boosts talented cornerback room, though Ramsey's likely absence hurts it just as much. However, the team has confidence in Brandon Echols to step up and make plays from the slot with Ramsey likely to miss time. Echols has filled in for Porter well and nabbed an interception. With Porter back, the likely starters will be him, Darius Slay, and Echols in the slot. The San Francisco 49ers' positive start to the season remains fraught with obstacles. Now, the biggest concern remains quarterback Brock Purdy, who has been dealing with a complicated foot injury. According to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, the 25-year-old athlete suffered a new flare-up of his big toe pain during the match against the Jacksonville Jaguars, days after returning to the field. Purdy had previously missed 2 games after sustaining an injury in the season opener against the Los Angeles Rams. Although he was able to return, imaging tests confirmed his condition had worsened. He is now being treated week to week, and his presence against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on October 12th and subsequent games is uncertain. Purdy's injury history worries the 49ers. The situation is even more concerning because Purdy has been plagued by injuries since joining the 49ers. Even so, the quarterback received a 5-year, $265 million contract this past offseason, demonstrating the franchise's confidence in his future. In his 2 appearances in 2025, Purdy completed 65.8% of his passes for 586 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Without his full mobility, Kyle Shanahan's offensive system lacks dynamism, especially in the bootleg plays and movement passes that are essential to Purdy's style. The recurrence also raises questions about whether the quarterback will be able to maintain consistency throughout the year. Mac Jones takes responsibility. Meanwhile, the 49ers' plan is to keep Mac Jones as the starter. The former New England Patriots have 52 NFL starts under their belt, 3 of them already this season. On Thursday night, too, he scored one of the best performances of his career in the thrilling triumph against the Rams. Signed as a free agent in the NFL offseason, Mac Jones brought immediate stability, but he hasn't yet demonstrated the same vertical impact as Purdy. Despite this, Shanahan's offensive scheme has brought the best out of the offense under Mac's tutelage. Besides him, the squad includes Adrian Martinez, but his professional experience is limited, which leaves Jones practically the only reliable solution in the short term. Immediate challenge for San Francisco with the NFC in a tight spot. Every game lost could be costly in the playoff race. The coaching staff hopes Purdy returns quickly, but the priority will be ensuring he returns fully recovered. Until then, it will be up to Jones, currently at 4-1, to keep the 49ers competitive and preserve the Super Bowl chances of a team that has invested heavily in talent and depth. He writes about what he loves. He's a diehard Patriots fan since the perfect season that didn't have a perfect ending. A sports game addict since his late PS1, he's also passionate about the Bruins, Red Sox, and Celtics. He's fortunate to have seen all his favorite teams win championships. He dreams of one day personally interviewing his greatest idol, Patrice Bergeron. Tom Brady is impressed by what Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers has done so far this season. Talking on Fox Sunday, Brady says that Rodgers has looked like a surgical passer with the Steelers, and despite the abundance of quick game, it is clearly working for the 4-time MVP who has reinvented himself later into his career. Beyond impressed, Brady said. I think at that age, there are so many other factors that come into play about how to be a great quarterback. We all want to talk about what happens in the offseason with him, and there's a lot of narratives out there. It's a little different. What we know about him on the field is that he's a surgical passer. He's got a killer instinct, he's hyper-competitive, and he's brought all of that to Pittsburgh. Through 4 games, Rodgers has 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and 786 passing yards. That is not a prolific stat line, but it is an efficient one. Over 70% of his yards have come after the catch, while dishing it out to his playmakers. Rodgers also has the quickest time to throw in the league, emphasizing just how much the Steelers have relied on quick game to work the offense. Yet, his accuracy has been stellar, and for the most part, Rodgers' veteran presence has been felt by the Steelers at the line of scrimmage.